Hey everyone, welcome back to Canada Wealth Guide. If you're looking to invest in the Canadian market and want to know the best ETFs for 2024, you've come to the right place. Today we're breaking down the top Canadian ETFs you should consider adding to your portfolio to potentially boost your returns this year. We'll go in depth on each ETF, talk about their fees, and discuss why they might be a good fit for you. So grab your notebooks, let's dive in. First up, we have the Vanguard FTSE Canada All Cap Index ETF, ticker symbol VCN. This ETF gives you exposure to large, mid-sized, and small companies all across Canada. Imagine owning a tiny piece of every major Canadian company, from Shopify and Royal Bank of Canada to those up-and-coming businesses you haven't even heard of yet. One of the best things about VCN is its super low management expense ratio, or MER, of just 0.06%. That means for every $10,000 you invest, you'll only pay $6 in fees per year. Plus, VCN pays out distributions quarterly, which is basically a fancy way of saying you get paid a little bit of money every 3 months just for holding on to it. So, if you're looking for a simple, low-cost way to invest in the entire Canadian stock market, VCN is definitely worth considering. It's a great set-it-and-forget-it investment that can help you build long-term wealth. Next on our list is another heavy hitter in the Canadian ETF space, the iShares Core S&P/TSX Capped Composite Index ETF, or XIC for short. This ETF tracks a broad index of Canadian stocks, specifically the S&P/TSX Capped Composite Index. This index includes a diversified mix of large, mid, and small-cap Canadian companies, just like VCN. What sets XYC apart is its focus on capped companies. This means that the index limits the influence of any single company, preventing any one stock from having too much sway over the ETF's performance. Just like VCN, XYC boasts a rock-bottom MER of 0.06%, making it incredibly cost-effective. Remember, the less you pay in fees, the more money you keep in your pocket. Overall, XYC is another great option for investors seeking broad exposure to the Canadian stock market. It's a low-cost, diversified ETF that can serve as a core holding in your portfolio. Our third contender today is the BMO S&P/TSX Capped Composite Index ETF, also known as ZCN. This ETF is like the triplet of VCN and ZSAC. They're all incredibly similar, tracking the same index and offering broad Canadian equity exposure. Think of it this way, if VCN and XYC are Coca-Cola and Pepsi, then ZCN is like, well, another cola. It's essentially the same thing, just with a slightly different label. Having multiple providers offering similar ETFs helps keep fees low and gives investors more options to choose from. Just like its counterparts, ZCN has an MER of 0.06% and provides investors with a diversified slice of the Canadian stock market. So if you're looking for a straightforward way to invest in Canadian companies and you're not too concerned about minor differences between these three ETFs, ZCN is definitely worth a look. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the Horizons S&P/TSX 60 Index ETF, or HXT. This ETF focuses specifically on the 60 largest and most well-established companies listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Think of HXT as owning a piece of Canada's corporate giants, the companies that are household names and have a long history of success. These blue-chip companies are often considered to be less risky than smaller companies because they're more established and have a proven track record. But here's the kicker. HXT boasts the lowest MER among all the ETFs we've discussed today, coming in at a minuscule 0.04%. That means you're paying even less in fees to own a piece of Canada's biggest and best companies. So if you're looking for a low-cost way to invest in a portfolio of Canada's blue-chip stocks, HXT is an excellent choice. Last, but certainly not least, we have the iShares Core Equity ETF portfolio, or XEQT. This ETF gives you exposure to not just Canadian stocks, but to companies all around the world. Think of XEQT as your passport to the global economy. It invests in both developed markets like the US, Europe, and Japan, as well as emerging markets like China, India, and Brazil. Diversifying your portfolio geographically can help reduce risk and potentially boost your returns. XEQT does have a slightly higher MER than the other ETFs we've discussed, coming in at 0.20%. But for that extra fee, you're getting access to a globally diversified portfolio, which can be a valuable addition to your investment strategy. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop for global equity exposure, XEQT is definitely worth considering. So there you have it. Our top Canadian ETF picks for 2024. These ETFs provide a range of options depending on your investment goals, whether you're looking for broad market exposure, blue-chip stocks, or a balanced global portfolio. Make sure to do your own research and consider your financial situation before investing. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more investment tips, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or if there are other ETFs you'd like us to review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy investing!